In this video, we're talking about self-management versus hiring a property manager for your short-term rental, so stay tuned. Vacation Rental Machine helps hosts just like you learn how to start, grow, and scale your short-term rental business. This show is all about creating systems that help you automate your business, giving you more time and money freedom. If you're ready to start living the vacation rental life, then subscribe to this podcast today. Come and join us on our Facebook group, The Host Nation, where we'll be talking about starting, automating, and scaling a short-term rental business. Now, on to the show. Hey, welcome back, Host Nation, to another episode of Vacation Rental Machine. I'm Julian Sage with John Bell. And today we're answering a question from the Host Nation Facebook group, and that is from Suzanne. Suzanne asks, she says she's under contract for her first short-term rental, and she's wondering, should I self-manage it or let an online management company do it? So, John, what are some of the different thoughts about self-management versus hiring a property manager? How do you know which one that you should be doing? Should you save money being able to do it yourself? Can you actually earn more and have a better experience? Or is it maybe better to hire it out and not have to be involved in, setting up the properties and doing all of the stuff? What exactly and how can you determine the difference?
To me, this question is easy. It depends on what you are trying to do. If you're actively looking to be a part of this business and you kind of want it as a path forward, then I would say don't take on the management company. Go ahead and get the experience for listing yourself and start doing it on your own. If you're looking to do this as a passive investor, or maybe you have multiple properties and you're looking for someone to manage and actually add a revenue stream to each one of those properties and don't want the headache of managing or dealing with guests or anything like that, a management company is definitely going to be the best thing that you can do.
How much work, John, would you say is involved if you do decide to go forward with self-managing? Is it really worth saving that extra, 15, 20, 25%, however much a manager charges? Or could that really just be maybe added time so you can actually maybe save more money just by not having to focus on getting a property up and running?
That question really depends on how much automations you kind of put in play, how you kind of set your place up, how are you already kind of hedging off some common issues. Like, if somebody's going to call and say, hey, I need some extra sheets, and somebody needs to run out and provide sheets, that might mean that you don't want to do those things and you need to hire somebody to either do them. And that could be a management company, or you can go the other way and say, hey, maybe I have a lockable closet that has an extra set of sheets, towels, and whatever, any type of extra supplies that a guest might need already ready to go. So I just provide a code and there you go, problem solved. Multiple ways to kind of look at it. But if you're really thinking that this is an avenue for you to either provide substantial income for yourself in the future, or you're thinking about scaling this, you might want some of the hands-on experience before even trying to do a management company. Maybe it's your outlook later on because you prefer to just sit on the beach and not worry about anything. But having that experience, then when a management company comes in, you know exactly what's involved. You know what they have to do, and you might not feel like it's worth the percentage that they're taking, and you might feel like, oh my God, it's so worth it for them to come in and handle these things. It all depends on your setup. If you follow the systems and things that we've kind of talked about in our VRM process and listen to our training or anything that way, you're kind of setting yourself up for some light management. For me, I still message for all my guests. So it's not enough for me to do outside to hire somebody else to do it fully, because I'd almost wonder, what do they do all day?
So let's say someone just decides to purchase a vacation rental property and, instead of having to pay, a property manager, 25, 30%, whatever it is, they decide to just have that one property that maybe it's already furnished. Maybe all they have to do is, handle the turnovers and stuff like that. You think that that's something that is maybe better? Like, would someone that is maybe not planning on actually scaling this business and just wants to take care of a single property to save on the fees? Or do you think that maybe, hiring a property manager might actually make you more money because this is what they do full time? They already have the experience. How would someone that is maybe not looking to actually scale this business like what we typically talk about and just looking to do this for, maybe just one or two properties that they own?
I would say if you're listening to this podcast and you're even just a single home owner that wants to list a property, you have more than enough skill to go in and do it on your own, because we've already talked about things like, hey, this is hospitality, not necessarily real estate. As long as you start off checking that box by understanding that, hey, this is just not something you just stand up and just kind of let go. These are not long-term renters that just are there. You get them to sign a contract and it's their place. You don't step foot into it for another year. As long as you don't go in with that misconception and you follow everything else that we talk about, maybe you do smart pricing, you'll end up stumbling across exactly everything that a property manager is going to do for you. Of course, a property manager can shortcut some of that, but without some of those learned lessons, you might not even really value exactly what they do. And that's really what this is about is your time, right? If you want your time to be solely your time, no interruptions, no anything, then a property manager is definitely it. This business can be 24 hours. In a sense, anything could happen at any given time. There's no real cutoff. So let's just say, hey, somebody wants to check in. They're not getting there until 1 a.m. and they have issues with the door lock. Well, they're going to call somebody. They're going to want to get in. And if there's nobody to pick up the phone, that creates a bigger problem. So it depends on what your level of tolerance is. I think that if you're just one of those investors, and most investors know, hey, I'm just an investor. I got money. I'm going to go out. I'm going to buy property. I'm looking for good cash flow, return. Anything above regular rent would be great. My numbers are set and I want to keep it clean and neat. You probably want a property manager because they're going to manage the property and get people in and manage the entire guest experience. They'll coordinate with you to do all the maintenance and things that way. But if you are not one of those people that is actively going out and acquiring multiple properties at a time or a year, or even put yourself on that path, then it's okay. You could list the place yourself. There might be some digging that you have to do as far as training, but you could figure it out and you'll be fine.
Right, John. So it sounds like you're really kind of talking about Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant, E being employee, S self-employed, B a larger scale business with, I believe, more than 500 employees, and then I being the investor. So now you are completely taken away from managing a business. And typically people kind of start through a trajectory. They go from, E to S to B to I. Some people just go E to S and then maybe straight to I. So if you are purchasing a vacation rental property and you are going to be having somebody else manage it, really that's really from the I perspective, because now you're just investing into property, somebody else is taking care of it for you. But if you decide to start self-managing it, you're really putting yourself into that S category, because you are self-employed, you are a business owner, you are managing that property, and there's going to be some work involved. So if you are getting into this business thinking that you want to be an investor, but then you're kind of putting yourself into a position where you're now self-employed, maybe that's not really what you wanted in the first place. Maybe your time is better use. Maybe you already have a business set up and you already are scaling that, or maybe you already are self-employed and you are producing your income from that, and you'd rather just move closer towards the I and be completely the I. Maybe it doesn't make sense to save that 20-25%, whatever it is, because your time could be better spent on other things. So that's really what it comes down to when you're trying to figure out, should I be self-managing or should I be hiring a property manager? Really, what is kind of your goal with your investing? So maybe you made the decision that this isn't really the business that you want to do full time, and you're looking to hire a property manager. Well, in the next video, we're actually going to be talking about how much should you pay a property manager, and what, as property managers ourselves, what can you expect at the different types of service fees, different types of pricing, what is actually involved with managing property. If you want to watch that video, click the little video over here or down in the description box. And if you are interested in actually building this business, definitely subscribe to this channel, because we put out weekly content just like this, helping property managers, investors that are looking to get into the short-term rental space. So until next time, Host Nation, keep on hosting.
Hey, Host Nation, would you like to work directly with Julian and I to help you start and scale your own short-term rental business? Go to shorttermsage.com/coaching to attend our step-by-step training and learn how we can work together. Looking forward to talking to you soon.
Hope you hosts found value in this episode. If you did, please go on over to iTunes and leave us a review, as that would greatly support the show. If you'd like to connect with John, the community, and I, then go on over to our Facebook group, The Host Nation. Talk to you hosts in the next episode. Keep on hosting.